And so you mentioned the other guy over across the pond, so that's Tyson Fury. I'm sure you saw that he just got injured.
Yeah,
I think
sprained ankle or something like
sprained
that.
ankle, something like that. And so he pulled out of the fight. Now, if those guys rematch, do you think it's more of the same? It's kind of just like, you know, round 13?
Yeah, because one thing I noticed about tall guys, and they may get mad at me, but fuck it. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Tall guys they don't fight well against tall guys for some reason. Like, you want to see the most boringest fight, put on two tall guys and just watch it be a hug fest, you know what I mean? So Fury won the first fight with feints and movement. If you watch it was boring, but it was boxing. He just did feints and movement. There was one point in the fight where Fury, he feinted and then he did the Dougie Fresh. You know what I mean? So he's going to do the same thing. Klitschko may let his hands go, but if he lets his hands go, he'll be open for shots. And that'll be what we want to see. You know, the fans like to see a fight, but I like to see boxing too, so I won't complain if it's much of the first fight.
So what's next for you, man?
Hopefully I'm fighting again pretty soon. Next for me is immediately getting back in the gym because I'm healthy, knock on wood, and just trying to get better because 13-0 can easily change, you know. So I needed to change to 14-0, so I got to make sure that I'm getting better, growing, trying to make sure that I correct right my wrongs, and just know that the next guy is going to be that much tougher, and then the guy after that is that much tougher. There's somebody somewhere, you know, that's watching me, you know, that wants to take that zero. So I got to make sure I'm working harder than them. They can't beat you if they can't outwork you. So that's my motto, and that's what I'm trying to do.
So you're a prospect right now. I mean, is there any plans? Do you or your team have plans? When do you plan to turn that into contender? You know, like how many fights down the road or what year, you know, do you want to turn into a contender?
Just whenever Thompson Boxing is ready, I'm just taking it one fight at a time. Like a lot of people felt like this was a good litmus test for me. A guy that fought for the world title, a guy that has never really, I mean, when has he ever been knocked out, like been counted out? Like the last few films I saw on him, it was stopped while he was on his feet. Like Mansour stopped him on his feet. He was DQ'd against Ortiz.
Yeah, he was DQ'd against
Usyk stopped him on his feet. You know, like I was able to land and he was actually counted out.
Right.
So, you know, just try to improve on that. And the contender and all that, that's really for the media. That's for y'all to decide. Because some media guy somewhere saying this fight makes me a potential contender. And some media guy somewhere is saying LaRon Mitchell is still an unproven bum that's going to get knocked out in his next fight. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's for y'all to decide. My thing is just to make sure that for number 14, I'm 100% and that I, you know, perform like I planned.
So how old are you at this point in your career?
36. I just
36?
turned 36, yeah.
Just turned 36?
Yep.
You're a full-time teacher, obviously.
Yeah.
You put that to the side if, you know, things get more serious beyond what you've already done. You know, what you've already accomplished is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But, you know, so what's like your ultimate goal in the sport?
Just get boxing out of my system. Train, I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it. But I'm content with who I am too, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be one of them guys, I don't hope, that's 45, 46, still trying to fight, but it's losing, you know what I mean? Like Foreman was still in the picture. Like I don't want to be, you know, there's some guys, you look on box record, and there's some guy that's like 50, you know what I mean? He got a pretty decent record, but he lost his last 20 in a row. Like I'm not trying to be that guy. No knock on him, you know, but I'm trying to get it out of my system and get all I can out of boxing, and then be able to pass it on. There's some kid somewhere, I may be able to tell him something, you know what I mean, and he may not become world champion, but I can use boxing to help him become a doctor, or use boxing to help him become a lawyer or a fireman or whatever. So get all I can out of it and pass it on.
Muhammad Ali, what did he mean to you?
He meant, to be honest with you, people gonna get mad at me, but he didn't mean anything to me as a boxer because I was a Tyson guy.
Okay.
He meant more to me. I was living in Texas during the 91. During the war. So I remember hearing about this boxer that went over and talked to Saddam Hussein and got the hostages released. I'm not sure if y'all know, but he negotiated to get, I think it was 11 or 15 U.S. hostages released. They were using these hostages, putting them in fuel bases, oil plant bases. And so we couldn't bomb those bases. So, you know, using them, you know, as shields, I guess, to protect the buildings. Well, he negotiated and got them released. That was something that I remember my father telling me about Ali. I always knew he was a boxer, but I never knew his greatness because I grew up when Tyson was the best thing since sliced bread, you know what I mean? So like I remember watching him get knocked out by Buster Douglas, and I was like, oh my goodness, like this dude lost, like, you know what I mean? So that's what Ali meant to me. He meant being a man, you know what I mean? Being more than just a boxer, like you gotta be a contributor to society. So that's, I think that's not the reason I work with kids, but that's why it's easier for me to work with kids, because guys that I've known have all worked with kids.
Right. So last thing, can you just kind of talk about some of the guys that you sparred, and then I guess who surprised you, you know, in sparring? Who surprised you? Like you didn't know they had a certain talent, a certain skill, and, you know, they kind of shocked you.
Malik Scott. Deontay, the best dude I've been in the ring with, Malik Scott has got to be 1A. Malik Scott is, there's a reason nobody will fight him. You say what you want about Malik. He's one of the baddest dudes walking. That's all I can say about it. Right? You watch him fight, he can do a right-handed, he can do a left-handed. When I watch him, he's always training and perfecting the simple things, but then he can put extra stuff with it. Like you see guys on a miss throwing a 10-punch combination that they'll never use in a fight. Well, he can do that in a fight or in sparring, and it all lands. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the baddest dudes I've ever been. I never expected his skill set to be that deep. So Malik Scott.
Last thing, just
they got the Crackman there.
announced today. It's just a rumor, but supposedly Adrian Broner and Manny Pacquiao. It's a rumor, but there's also kind of talks that it, you know, like behind closed doors that this fight might happen. What do you think? Do you give Adrian Broner a shot against Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, you give everybody a shot. You know what I mean? I give Adrian the same shot as Pacquiao. I like Adrian Broner. People don't like Adrian. I like Adrian Broner.
No, he's funny.
You know, hell yeah, he's entertaining. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's an entertainer, and he can fight. So I give him a shot. I think if you had to ask me, I would have to go with Pac-Man right now because of the work. He's going to outwork him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Broner wins.
And just tell everybody where they can follow you, man.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter at whoopass_tweets. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. All right, thanks.
Appreciate your time.